This is a short video explaining how to utilize the Sakai course page for Philosophy 101. So I want to start with the course home tab. This is a sort of default that you'll see whenever you log into the course, and on this page there's a couple things that I think you should generally pay attention to. The first is this messages link here, that this will tell you when you get new messages from me, or if you're getting them from other students because you're doing a collaboration project or something. This will let you know, and this is something you should check pretty regularly. You can click on the link there, and then there's also an option to use the messages over here on this tab on the left. The other major thing to take note of on the course homepage is the announcements page, or the little announcements box here. This is going to show you recent announcements, and I'll use announcements to tell you what to expect in a particular week. So what we plan to accomplish that week, any sort of new material or potential changes that are going to be made to the syllabus, I'll make that announcement there. And also I'll use the announcements as a way to provide additional resources if I find them, or if I find something that I think is philosophically interesting, I'll use the announcement page as a way to make that viewable to you. Okay. Other tabs that you're going to want to pay attention to over here on the left side of the page are the forums. This is something you're going to need to access weekly because that is part of the grade, and all of the forums assignments are listed there week by week. Most of the forums only have one thing to do with them, some of them have two, and it's noted if there are two. The forum grader, you're not going to see, that's for me only. Syllabus, this is something you should definitely pay attention to. This lists pretty much everything about the course generally, and also specific information about when things are due and the course grading scheme. This is one place where you can see pretty much every assignment. You'll also see that in another place, which is the one before it, which is the lessons tab, or excuse me, the one after it, the lessons tab. The lessons tab has all the information for a particular week nested within it, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. The other tabs you should really pay attention to for the course, the assignments tab. This is going to come into play when you have the two-part writing assignment. Otherwise, you can leave this one mostly alone. The resources tab lists everything possible that you could download or access in the course in one place. This will include any PDFs that are linked in the course, any Word documents, also transcripts for videos that are used, all that stuff you can find under resources. And then you go to the test and quizzes tab. So pretty much every week you're going to take a quiz at the end of the week. You can access that here. Lastly is the gradebook tab. This is where you can go to check up on the grades that you've had entered for particular assignments. Okay. So now, more specifically, I want to look at the Lessons tab. The Lesson tab, and let's reset this here, is organized by week. This will go back. So you've got week 1, week 2, all the way through week 8. And when you click on a particular week, it's going to break it into 3 pieces. So you've got a lesson overview, this lesson, and lesson review. Now, I recommend starting with a lesson overview because this gives you a good sense of what we plan to do with the objectives, how we're going to do it, and it also gives you access to all the stuff that we're actually going to work on during the week, what to read, what to listen to or watch, what you can use for review in terms of the PowerPoint lectures, and then also assignments as well, to do the forum posts, to do the quizzes, whatever. Me personally, I like the lesson overview as my sort of go-to for everything for a particular week. I'll look at the objectives and then I'll sort of work my way systematically through the things that I'm supposed to do for that week until I get through to the end of the assignments. Okay. The next thing you could do, if you like, is after you look at the lesson overview, you can look at the lesson itself. Now, I find this to be a little bit overwhelming at times. When you launch a lesson, it's going to give you pretty much everything for the week, and graphically it's a little more interesting to look at, but you're going to get it all in this like one continuous web page, and it can be a little bit hard to keep track of what I should be doing with all this stuff sort of hitting me at once. So you can use this if you like. It does have everything that you should be looking at. It just does it in a different format, and for me sometimes it's a little bit hard to sort of keep track of things compared to the lesson overview. And lastly then, for the lessons, you're going to have the lesson review, and this is really just the bottom part of the lesson overview, which is going to give you what you needed to have done during the week, what to think about for next week, and then also some things to keep in mind. Like here, this gives you some information about a 2-part essay that's coming up, so to think about some of the stuff that we talk about here as it relates to that assignment that's coming up. And that's it for things that I think you should be aware of in the Sakai course in order to be successful in this course. I'll make more announcements as the course goes on for specific things, but at least you should be comfortable with and sort of regularly accessing the course homepage, which has the message and the announcements, and also regularly checking in with the lessons page, which gives you specific information about what's due every week.